And I'll just give a little blurb about who we are and what we do. And just one second here. I'm just pulling up I was trying to find my notes.
Oh.
Down. There we go. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Wanda Ince, and I am the Program Coordinator, Office Assistant with the Transition Year Program at Dalhousie University, College of Continuing Education. So TYP has been around for over 50 years, believe it or not. It's kind of like Sarah and I were talking, the best kept secret. A lot of people don't know about us, but we're a university preparatory program where we transition students into university learning. And those students are ones who do not meet the entrance requirements into university. So given that, it is an application process. So our application deadline is April the 30th of every year. And just by applying doesn't mean that it's automatic acceptance. So there is a process. So with the application, it's the application itself. We have like 3 tiers that we have to meet. So the first tier is Nova Scotian. So we look at our applicants who come from prominently Black Nova Scotian community, as well as the First Nations community within Nova Scotia. So we take, we start there, and then if we don't have all of our applications in that criteria, then we look for Canadian, Black Nova Scotians, Black Canadians throughout. And then we look at that, and then we go to the African diaspora community. So with that, we still say apply anyway, because you just never know. Now, we do get a lot of applications. We get anywhere from, I don't know, 75 to maybe 150 sometimes, but we only take 25 applicants. So this year it was a little bit different. We accepted more because we're online. So that was a little tricky for all of us. And so we had 28 students in our class, and it seemed to be okay. The balance was pretty much okay for our students, and we do that because it's more one-on-one, and our TYP instructors come from the community, and we're a really close-knit unit. So it's a very small unit. So that's why we try to do our best to do one-on-one training or one-on-one assistance, sorry, with our students. And once a student applies, there is a checklist with the application. So it consists of the application itself, a personal statement up to about 500 words, just telling us who you are, where you've been, where you're going, and why you choose TYP. And then with that, we ask for a resume just to kind of see your volunteering experiences, as well as where you are with school or work or whatever. And then we ask for references. So your references can be professional, academic, and personal. The personal ones, though, cannot be family. If you can't get academic or professional, then we ask for 2 of one and 1 of the other. So, if you have any questions in regards to that, just feel free to contact me. We don't want you to not apply if that's not in your application. So you can send your application in as soon as you complete it. We will need your high school's transcripts as well. Any previous university that you've had deem you too strong for TYP. However, everybody's circumstances are different. Everybody leaves university for whatever reason. We would still encourage you to apply, because then we would reach out to you to hear your story, to see if it's something that maybe if you can get back into university, then maybe you're too strong for us. However, if it's something where, it's been a long span of time between, then apply anyway and contact our office, and we'll be able to see where we can place you and or what we can do with the application, or perhaps put it in the pool of possibly acceptance. But those things are something that we look forward to, or we will look at later on. So once the application is in, then we usually do a testing in both English and math. We didn't do it last year because of online. We weren't sure how to do that, but this year we're getting a little better with the online. So we do testing in math and English. That's just to see where your writing style is and to see where you are academically. Now we have 2 math courses in TYP. So one, it's the same textbook, but different learning styles because everybody learns differently. So with that, some people are really strong in math, some people aren't. So then we will look into that. And it doesn't mean that if you don't pass it, because a lot of people get really, experience has shown me and shown us at TYP that a lot of people get really nervous about the math because the majority of people, math isn't their strong suit. And that's okay. That's just for us to see where you are academically. Doesn't mean that you won't get into the program if you fail the test or anything. It's just to see which class to place you in if you're accepted. So then once that is done, so the application deadline is in April 30th. The math and English tests usually run in May. Interviews will take place in June. And this year, it won't be person to person. It will be virtual interviews. And then we select our class in July. So once you're accepted into TYP, I will say there's no fee to apply. Once you're accepted into TYP, you will take, our program is full-time, so it runs Monday to Friday. Normally day is like 9:30 to 4. And you'll take 5 core courses, which consists of academic writing and strategies for university learning, English, math, Black studies, and Indigenous studies. So once you successfully complete the transition year program with a B average overall for all courses, you're in receipt of 4 credits towards your degree program. That's new. The Senate just advised us that this is something that's going to happen. So we just started that last year, where our students are now getting 4 credits towards their degree program. And then you're in receipt of a tuition fee waiver. And that fee waiver is towards any degree at Dalhousie, as long as you remain in good academic standing. And a good academic standing at Dalhousie for a TYP graduate with a TYP waiver is a C average, which is a 2.0. So, but then you have to keep in mind too, once you're accepted into Dalhousie, into your BA program, that you have to maintain certain averages to get into the degree program that you want. Most of it is a B+ and above. So with that, we know that life happens. So, a lot of people go right through and they do their 4 years, and that's great. Your tuition is covered. But that's the only thing that's covered after TYP. So your first year in TYP, we will cover your books. They're on loan to you, and your tuition is covered. You'll receive all your student fees just like you were a first-year student, and you will receive a small living allowance based on financial need. Everybody's situation is different. You will have to fill out a funding application once you are accepted into TYP. Send that back into our office. We will review it, sit down and discuss your financial situation, and see how much we can allot for a monthly living allowance. So, like I said, everybody's situation is different. So some people need it, some people don't need it. And it depends on need at that point. And once we go through all of that and and then September rolls around, your monthly living allowance will not take place until the 27th of September. So it's on the 27th of every month until the end of April. So you really have to budget yourself, and you become that as they say, that poor student. So it's not by any means to live off of, but it is there to help you financially. We do ask our students that if they are working, to minimize their hours if they're able to, because the program is intense. We recommend anywhere from 10 to 15 hours per week because it is a full-time program. If you want to be successful in TYP, then you have to apply yourself and put the work in so that you can be successful. Once there's a lot of work, it is intense, but we're there to support, and we believe in our students when they're accepted into the program, and we try to push them, and we try to help them in any way that we can. So I think I covered everything from my end for right now. Like I said, we put our students first. And we have our community, our instructors are from the local community with academic writing strategies for university learning is one course, although they're separate, but then we also have Black Studies, English, Math, and Indigenous Studies. So, and you can see our website for a breakdown of what the courses are and what they look like. I can give Sarah the link, or you can look it up yourself. And yeah, I think that's about it for now. If you have any questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Wanda. I know we just had a group here that joined from Auburn. I will provide the actual recording so that you guys can have the information that Wanda provided, because it was a very great comprehensive overview of the TYP program. So I think it'll be helpful for you to have that as well. But maybe I'll start and see if there are any questions, keeping in mind that I know you missed a little bit of the overview from Wanda, but I'm sure she would be happy to cover any questions you might have. And then I have a few as well. So I don't know if you guys have any questions at Auburn, or anybody else that's on the line have any questions, if you maybe just wanted to raise your hand or let me know. If not, I can get started with a few questions.
I will say that Auburn is muted.
They are, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you're talking behind the mask or not there, but looks like you guys are having some good lunch there. You guys are good? Okay. All right. So maybe then I'll start, Wanda, and then if anybody else has any additional ones. I was just wondering if you could expand on a little bit more about who an ideal applicant would be, because you said somebody that didn't necessarily meet the requirements for post-secondary, but what would that kind of look like for you?
Okay, well, that will look like somebody who isn't really strong in their academic courses. Say, like a math of maybe a 50 or 70 or below a 75 average for any academic course. What we do is take the transcripts and send them up to the registrar's office, and they may deemed too strong. However, if there's an issue where, financial situation is there's no scholarship, or, monies for that applicant, then they will come back to us, and then the director will be the one that will make the decision on that.
Okay, perfect. So even if they are maybe in that kind of category where they may or may not fit the admission requirements for, say, Dalhousie, where it's usually around a 65 or a 70 for that academic English and things like that, that they could be a suitable candidate for the TYP program.
I would recommend that they would apply anyway, and then yes, they should still apply. Yes.
Okay, perfect. And so that would be people who maybe have math at work or things like that, that would not maybe make them eligible to apply for Dalhousie based on not having that academic credit. Okay.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So if they're not doing the academic courses, absolutely apply to TYP.
Okay, perfect. And then maybe you could talk a little bit more about what a day is like, because I know you mentioned that it's pretty structured, that 9:30 to about 4 o'clock or so. But if you could kind of talk a bit about what that looks like compared to maybe typical post-secondary, where you're kind of going in and out of classes.
Sure. Now, it's not strictly all day. It's not. So the typical day at TYP would be like math would start at 9:30 to 10:30, and then you would have a break from 10:30 till 1 o'clock. Our academic writing course, excuse me, is broken up into 3 different groups. So depending on which group the student is in, group 1, 2, or 3, if you're in group 1, you would go in on Monday and Friday. Group 2 would be Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then you would have an academic writing class on Monday from 1 till 2, and then you would have your English from 2 till 3:30. So then that day is done. Then on Thursday, depending on what time your academic writing course is, it could be, if you're in group 2, it starts at 9:30. If it's in group 3, then you don't start until 10:30. And then if you start at 9:30, then you go from 9:30 to 10:30, then you have a break. Black Studies starts at 12:30, and then that goes until 2, and then you have another break, and then you have Indigenous Studies that starts at, I think it starts at 2:30 or 3. It depends on the registrar's office with their calendar this year. It started late this year, but it's an hour and a half time slot. So that's a typical day. It is broken down. Now on Wednesdays, it's only math in the morning, and then you have a long break, and then there is English in the afternoon. So the schedule is it's structured, but it's not structured. Mm-hmm. So like there's still a lot of time in between the classes for the students, to eat lunch and to do their studies, and to get in between the classrooms if we're going to be in person. So we're not really sure what that looks like for September yet. So yeah, that's basically the day. So we say 9:30 to 4:30, but there's a lot of downtime as well for studying.
Okay, perfect. Now I know you mentioned you don't know what it's going to look like next year, but traditionally you have the TYP house. And I'm guessing you can maybe talk to a little bit about what the TYP house looks like and some of the extra supports and things that are available there.
Sure. So at the TYP house is where you will find me. That's my home away from home, as well as the director, Dr. Isaac Saney. Our office is there. And upstairs we have a student lounge where we have computers and little kiosks for each student to sit down and do their work. And then we have a tutoring room as well, because we have a math tutor who comes in to help with our students. And we also have our English instructor, who's Leslie Choice. He has his office there, as well as Dr. Fairmond, who is the academic writing and strategies for university learning professor. And there's also a kitchen. So we have there's no stove, but we do ask our students to bring your lunch, keep it in the fridge, have the microwave, and you can eat up in the student lounge. I'm just not at the computers. So it's a small house, but it's an intimate house. It's a safe place for our students, and it will be your home away from home. And a lot of our students come back and spend the time there and utilize the space so that they can get their work done, or if they forget a book or whatever, we have extra books in the office, and our students find it very accommodating.
Perfect. And now I know you mentioned that once people complete the TYP program, then they have that tuition waiver that is applied to their degree that they go into Dal with. And it's great that they get those 4 credits towards their degree as well. I'm just wondering if you could kind of talk a bit more about what maybe some people do after TYP, what are some of the programs that people go into?
Sure. We have right now probably about 6 students who went through TYP who are in nursing. We have engineering students. We have social work. We have 2 students right now who are doing their master's in social work. We have psychology majors. We have 1 student who went on to do their PhD in psychology and forensic law. So the list goes on. There's somebody that's doing health and promotions, kinesiology, dental assistant, dental hygiene. We have 1 student who went through TYP who was a dental assistant, a dental hygienist. Now she's back doing her doctorate so that she can become a full dentist. So it's amazing to see our students coming back and wanting to pursue their degree further.
Perfect. And I know some of those programs require additional requirements to get in terms of like different sciences and maths and things like that to apply for some of those health related programs. Is there support for students as well through some of those U prep courses to make sure that they can meet the requirements?
Absolutely. So once you go through TYP, and this is after TYP, and if somebody doesn't have the strong science background, there is a university preparatory program through CCE, the College of Continuing Education, where they have the prerequisites for those programs, like the academic math, biology, chemistry, pre-cal, and stuff like that. And TYP will support financially for that. Also, if there's, for whatever reason, that TYP can't support it financially, that the university preparatory program, they do have bursaries available as well. And if for some reason they say, every situation is different, if they say to apply for the bursary first and you don't get the bursary, then TYP will kick in and fund that for the student. So it's one or the other. So it's, once you're a TYP, a post-TYP student, and you want to go into the university preparatory program, funding would not be an option.
Okay, perfect. All right. I'll just maybe open it up to see at Auburn if we have anybody that has any questions there or anything that you wanted to have recapped since you maybe missed a little bit at the beginning. Or anybody else online.
State that. Sure. I will also state too that we have tutors on campus as well. Like, we have a lot of tutoring available, and we will support that. There is the writing center on campus, so we do tell our students to go there, go to the Visit Center to see what resources are available there. If they find somebody in that department that will help them with tutoring, then we will fund. We will pay for the tutor for the students, so that it's not a financial barrier to them. We want our students to be successful. We don't want them to be hindered by the finances. So if that ever becomes an issue, please feel free to come back and talk to myself or Dr. Saini, and so that we can sit and discuss it further.
Okay, perfect. Any questions there? I don't know, Tech or anybody else that's on the line, or anybody from Auburn, if you had any questions or anything that you wanted to have recapped. And you are on mute there, Auburn, but you can type it in the text or in the chat if you wanted to as well, and I can. Yeah, go ahead. You have a question there.
Hi, so my name is Mani. I have a question. My question is, What if a student did academic courses, but they didn't get the mark that's required to be accepted into university? Can they still be um, can they still be valid for the application?
So I don't know if Wanda, if you heard all of what she was asking, just in terms of the math. So if they didn't have the math requirement, the ask was around if they would be still able to apply to the TYP program.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah. And in fact, that would probably be an ideal candidate of who you would be looking for, somebody that maybe didn't meet those requirements to university. Yeah.
Yes.
Did that answer your question, or did you have more there?
And what if a student has the required courses for some of the required courses to be accepted into a university or post-secondary, but some of them did not meet some of the required courses? Can they still be valid to apply for the TYP?
With that, it would depend on where they are academically. If they're above a 75 average, they would look at the academic standpoint as well. Like, it all depends on the courses, and the core course would be English and math. Mm-hmm. So they would take that into consideration. If those courses were below the 75 average, then yes, they would be eligible to apply to TYP.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. And I think, like you said before, if in doubt, they can apply, and you can help walk them through that process as well, right, Wanda? So if they are thinking, or if they're questioning whether or not they're an appropriate applicant, they can apply and have a conversation with somebody as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions, or any questions from Auburn? I feel like, Auburn, you might be having a hard time hearing us. Oh, somebody's pointing. There might be a question. You're good? Okay. All right. And again, like I said, I'll provide the recording, and if there's anything that you want clarified or anything that comes out of it, you can definitely send myself or send Wanda an email. I'll include her email as well, and she can answer any questions that you might have specifically about the TYP program.
Yeah, that sounds great. Feel free to contact me.
Perfect. Any other questions or anything before we let Wanda go? No.
I have a question.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
I was going through the application online, and I read through it, and somewhere at the end it shows that it shouldn't be submitted through an email. So does that mean that we're supposed to submit the application through, what do they call it, the mailbox?
Okay.
It's different this year because our offices are closed. So I'm asking, and that will be changed on our application process as well, to submit it via email to the typ@dal.ca. Or myself, and Sarah will give that.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I see Ira's hand going like crazy there, but anything else over there from Auburn?
I will say this too, Sarah, that with the application process, a lot of the applicants, their referees will come in later. So don't wait for the reference statements to come in from your referees for your application to be complete. I will review them, and if there's something missing, I will reach out to the applicant to say that we're still waiting for this reference statement, or you're missing your high school transcripts, or whatever's missing from the application. So send in your application as soon as you can with those required documents, and then if there's anything that's still outstanding, we will address it then.
Perfect. And I know with Dal, they have the transcripts automatically submitted if the students have their Nova Scotia education number, but you need the actual transcript submitted through your program?
Through TYP, we do, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we need a paper copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Okay, last chance for any questions before we wrap up. Anyone? No? Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much, Wanda, for sharing lots of valuable information. And I'm sure we'll have some follow-up emails for you after the fact.
Okay, sounds great.
I have lots of people that were interested but weren't able to attend, unfortunately, during this time frame. So we'll send out the recording to them, and I'm sure they will be in touch.
Okay, and if there's another time slot, Sarah, if you need another session at a different time, that either myself or Dr. Saini could be available for that as well.
Perfect.
So just keep us posted and let us know.
All right. Thank you so much. And again, April
All right.
30th is your deadline. So making sure that people who are interested have that opportunity to submit some of their paperwork before the April 30th time frame.
Sounds great.
Perfect.
Thank you, Auburn.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
Okay, Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
I can stay on with Auburn if you had any other questions after, if you'd like. But we will let you go, Wanda.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks.